Hey guys, what's going on? Um, Wanted to make a follow-up video to my last one about uh, talking to my parents and being home. Um, I had a second conversation with them 3 hours before I took off for my flight, and that was actually um, a much deeper conversation. A conversation where I kind of told them a lot more about my personal truths and realized that I really hadn't shared that with them all 18 years living with them. Um, and they also got to see their mindset change a little bit. By mindset, I'm more talking about, I guess, well, it's both of them a little bit, but it's a lot my mom. Her point of view, she saw, I guess I should say, she saw this as a choice. And I should explain that. She saw me putting myself in harm's way as far as social interaction and being ostracized, um, putting myself in danger as far as my health goes with shots, blood tests, blood pressure going up, as far as T goes, um, cancer risks, etc., surgery, all this. Um, and, my body in the future being something I need to explain to people, something that will perhaps be different from a binary body that people are used to. She saw all of this as something that is a life choice and process that, like, I can decide to have, or I can just, like, hang out and be what I am right now. And what's interesting about that is it kind of opened me up to explain to them the mental side that I haven't really told them about, which is, you know, in the past, maybe in high school, um, recently even, if I was around, a big group of queer individuals, perhaps a big group of lesbians, really, really close friends, that I've known forever, who've seen me, mixed gender, maybe perhaps identifying as a lesbian, whatever, um, just me kind of relax and be like, okay, I'm comfortable, you know, I'm not in any kind of turmoil right now. Maybe I can just stay like this. Um, what I had to have my parents realize is that maybe if that lasted 2 or 3 days, no matter what, um, sometimes it hit me again, more than before, that I was having dysphoria, that I wanted to be recognized as masculine, that, it just, like, no matter how comfortable I've ever been, it's always just come back around in my head, and I've been curious again, and it's always just been there. Um, Egging at me to continue the process of just moving away from people identifying me as a female. And, like, my parents just needed to understand that I have had dysphoria, that I've been depressed for this reason, that a lot of my antisocial or angsty behavior, a lot of my, um, I don't know, any kind of anxiety that they've seen me have, half of that can be attributed to what I was going through in high school when I came out. My mom really doesn't like the word come out because she can't stop confusing it with coming out as gay. So she wants me to say, I guess, like, I don't know, we decided on the word vocalized it because, of course, my parents knew the fact that, oh, look at my wall. There's James Dean. This is, Catastrophe, or Rocco. The author of OP Magazine came and visited our college, and he signed one of the posters, which is awesome. And then there's just, like, other pictures. Alright, anyway. Sorry, that's my wall. I don't know if I've showed you guys. It's got more shit on it since last time. What was I saying? So they've obviously known that I've rejected all of their, like, gendered activities or clothes or whatever things that they've tried to impress on me. So that was just kind of a one side of being trans that they had seen, that they're sitting there in front of me saying, oh, we knew all along. Well, no, you knew part of it, but you don't know my side of it, I guess. We also talked a lot about what I see my future being. And that would be, I've never seen myself growing up to be a woman. Um, if I look at my future, I see a dad, I see a male figure. Um, I see myself having kids, but I had to explain to them that I have never recognized my period or that process as being useful at all. I've always just felt like completely like it's a useless thing to have in my body, to have my body releasing these eggs. And I almost felt like the pain was like a metaphor for it just being there, like it's a useless process. It's in me. It causes me pain. I'm never gonna have children. I'm not gonna use it. Like it's just mainly my problems with that whole process that happens every now and then is that it controls me. Emotionally, it releases hormones. Emotionally, I go like this. I can feel myself going like this, and then eventually I flatline and I feel like myself, and then I'm just back to this. And it's like to be controlled emotionally by something that is completely not meant to be in my body, something that I don't feel comfortable with. It just makes me so messed up. And it's like I have never seen myself having children, and they need to understand that. And they did, they knew. I mean, before they just thought I was lesbian, so they knew I wasn't going to be having biological kids um, of theirs. And I guess what they did need to realize is that I would love to have kids. I want to be that male figure. I want to have children. I love the idea of it, and it just won't be from me, and I will not be the woman who bears them, because I love women. I love women who like being women. I love straight women. I don't think I've ever questioned that. I mean, I was maybe in middle school for 2 or 3 days, or the first week of high school, somebody set me up with one of my best guy friends, and he told me he wanted to go skateboarding. Like, I've never been into men, never had any attraction whatsoever. Just love women that love masculinity. So there we go. And the girl that I met here is more pansexual, attracted to the person, which has helped a lot with being trans. But I haven't really dated anybody like that. I've dated mostly straight girls, so it's actually more helpful and just a lot nicer to get a person with a little more perspective and someone who's more educated about the queer community. So yeah, I've mentioned before how much I appreciate her being there for me and all this. We're not in a relationship, but we kind of had an attraction to each other earlier in the year, and now it's like settled out to being something that is just supportive and good for us. So that's good. So parents, yeah, my mom, we just, I mean, whether or not they're upset emotionally, realizing that my life is now a process where, I may be going through things emotionally because people are rejecting me in society. Like, my mom's realizing the things that I realized when I came out 2 years ago. And I have to give her that chance to just go through that. Like, the fact that her child is going to have maybe a harder time in the world than some people. And that, she's realizing what I realized when I came out, when I finally put that word transgender up to myself and looked at it and said, oh, wow, what does that mean for my lifestyle? Does that mean my life is now going to be a process? Does that mean that all these fears and, questions come with it? Of course it does. So she has to just understand that I'm giving her that time to be emotional and realize it all. So yeah, that's what's happened, and it's good. And they are more supportive now because they understand that mentally I've had a hard time, and that's something that they didn't really know. Which can be weird, not knowing that your kid's going through tough stuff, but it's good to just be open with them about all of it. And I called the local therapist 2 days ago, and she's booked. She has too many patients, so that's really shitty. But she called me back and left me a message with like 5 more that I can go see. I might just wait for her 2 weeks from